pick yourself a nice pattern and stay with it. Otherwise, like I say, you'll be chasing around and getting something or nothing. Right, okay, so I'm going to punch a little bit of ultramarine, a little bit of burnt sienna, and a touch of vermilion there. That'll do. And while it's still wet, I'll just leave that. There we go. Still underneath there. Lovely job. There we go. There's the light bit of the edge of the parapet there, so we'll just bring that down. There we go, and just bring that down there. Just so we're looking in the water, and the same there. There you go. Right. Just bring that down through there. Lovely. Now we're going with a slightly smaller brush now, and we're just putting very quickly some background details into the church. There's just the very slightest bit of a shadow there, so we'll just put that in. Less really is more. You don't want the eye going to that too much. Just put in a few of the bridge details. Blue down a little bit of the old burnt sienna, a little bit of cobalt blue, and just go into that. Don't make it too strong, don't make it too thick. Just, there we go. See how that's bringing out that nice. That's it, lovely, get in there. Yep. And then that goes underneath and it disappears into quite a dark bit of undergrowth there. So we'll just put that there, lovely. And it comes down, it actually goes a bit red down there, so add a bit of red. There we go, lovely job. Still fairly red underneath this little line here. There we go, just take a few in, that's all you need. Maybe soften just that little bit there, that's it, lovely. Do the same with this edge here. And that's coming down through there, back. There we go. That's quite red underneath. There we go. This bridge here at Wilton is made of old Herefordshire stone, and in some places some of the stones have literally gone concave with the weather, and they're so soft. See, I'm making this fairly dark, but I don't want it dying. I don't want the colours to go black on me. Just bringing these little bits into there. We've got a few little bits coming down through here. Down through there, down through there. Again, I'm putting a little bit of detail in now, literally, in case we have to make a runner. And I'll have just a little bit of detail so I'll know what's going on around here. So you never know, we might just about get this done. A little bit more alizarin into there, just to give that lovely Herefordshire stone red, which really is quite a real red sandstone. And there you go over into that grey, so I'll just use the glue that down a little bit. There we go. In fact, that plays off nicely against the. This bit here is really quite grey, so I think I'll just accentuate that a little bit. There we go, that's rather nice. And so's that, just looking back at that, that's a bit grey as well. So just a few more bits and pieces in here. Back to the readier tinge. Better. In fact, this one here has got quite a lot of grey stone in it. I'm going to put in a little detail under there, so don't worry about that too much. And there's quite a strong shadow coming down through here, so let's get that bit in. Down through there. I've got my stuck my finger right in the middle of that bit, but never mind. There we go. That'll still be a bit wet under there, so we'll just quickly toss in this little bit here. We just blew them off a bit. There we go, knock that back, lovely. I don't want to concentrate too much on this one. We'll put in a few little darks just along the top line of this bridge here. It is actually quite dark against the sky. Just soften up underneath. Soften up underneath there. And down through there. Into there. That's it. Don't overdo the stonework. As long as you just got a little bit there so you know what's going on. That's all we need. Let's come in here, put this down here. Yes, this weather's really drying. This is absolutely bone dry. Absolutely bone dry. So that's good. If we want to, we can, and if we have time, the weather stays, we'll have time to go in and just put a couple of little bits of, maybe an overall wash over the water might be quite nice. And down through there. Down through there. And then just like that, trickle off down into the arch. Leave it a little bit there, that's lovely. Okay. That goes quite red there, so we'll put in a few stones that sort of sit. Oops. The brush is starting to split, yeah, that's better. Don't make these too regimented, they are stones, not bricks, so we'll just toss a few in there. A few down through there while we're at it. I'm going to get this darkish piece under here. It sort of starts and it goes under there. This thing's quite dark there, right. Right, I'll move about a bit now. I think I might move over to down to the water. Pull it along the bottom there. There we go. That's just sitting there. And it gives you a water line as well, which can't be a bad thing. There we go. Take it in very quickly. I'm just going to use a slight bit of dry brush to dry your brush off and just bring a little bit of dry brush down into that. So it says a bit of algae sitting on the bottom there. Lovely. And what have we got? This along here is actually quite dark, so let's just punch a little bit of darkness underneath there. Only a little bit. That'll do nicely. I think the weather's, I shouldn't say this, but I think the weather might be a little kind to us, so I might be able to go in and do a few details that I didn't think I was going to be able to do earlier on, so that's why I'm spending a little more time than I would have done if the weather turned really nasty. At the end of the day, it's only a sketch, so I don't want to spend too long on it. Just as long as I've got enough detail that I can follow it up back in the studio and do a painting from it. That's all I really need. I'm just going to come in here with a little bit of dry brush along down there, a little bit just down there, and a little bit more sitting in there. Just gives it a tiny little bit of, that's it. I'll just put this little street lamp in here. I don't want to put it in too dark. otherwise it'll jump out of this. There we go. That should do nicely. There's a little bit of dark on there. Oops, that's not dark. That's not anything. That's better. Lovely. Right, and I'm just going to put just a tiny little bit of strength into this little bit here. I just feel that needs to be brought out, so I just put a little bit of strength into there and a little bit of strength in there, and we'll leave it. As I say, this is only a sketch, so you can spend, it can take on a life of its own, so we'll put that in and then we'll leave it and call it a day. There we go, it's just nice, it just sits in there nicely. Yeah, it just drops down on that parapet, so we get that lovely edge of that parapet down in the water. And the same here, we'll get that little edge just sitting down there, very, very wet, very wet. And a little bit just underneath there, it goes slightly greener. There, stick that one through there. And to be honest, I think we've got about enough there to make a nice little painting from. Must get my rigger working. I've got that little tree that we just got up in the corner here. Otherwise we'll be having a whole lot of foliage hanging in the air. And that just about completes it. So there we have a really nice quick watercolour sketch. Okay, it just captured the scene, just got all the little bits that we need. That's it. So I'm going to leave that now, and we got in just before the weather, which is really coming in, and I think we're going to get a little wet. Whether it's from a high viewpoint, like we have here, or down on the bank, rivers and their valleys really do make fantastic subjects to paint, especially in watercolour. I've shown you the techniques, now try them out for yourselves. And at the end of the day, don't forget, have fun.
Now available to buy. Try these techniques at home whenever you wish. The extended DVD of today's workshop is now available from the Painting and Drawing channel. For further information and to order your copy, go to www.paintingdrawingchannel.com.